Hi everyone, it's Kristen here from the Dahlia Society. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new to the channel. I hope you love all things to do with sewing around wardrobe, pattern, fabric inspiration, maybe something new in the sewing community to discuss. Today I have finally got around to coming on and having a chatty style vlog with you guys. It's been an incredibly busy couple of weeks, but I really need to start focusing on getting my Frocktails dress ready. The problem is I haven't quite decided between a couple, two, maybe three patterns. So I'm in kind of twill making mode at the moment because I have no idea which direction I want to go. The only thing I have decided is kind of maybe a bit of a theme on what I want to look like. You may see a bit of a sneaky hint behind me because I have some brand new cowgirl style boots that I picked up from one of my favorite shoe stores. It's an online store here in Australia, and you probably already know Dinah Ferrari has the most beautiful shoes. And I was totally inspired by an outfit I saw on one of the, I think it might have been the Great Australian Bake Off series, and one of the most gorgeous judges, I cannot for the life of me remember her name. I see her face, I see what she wears, but I'm going to really look silly for not mentioning her name because I know it. I'll blame menopause, but yeah, I'll put a pic up so you all. Rachel Koo, how could I forget? Has the most beautiful style, and she had a look on that I kind of thought I could do something like that. Last year I went full on Grecian goddess style. I'll put a pic up of what I wore last year. The beautiful gown from Deer and Doe Patterns, the Sewciety dress with the really glamorous long line sleeve with the split through the sleeve, the wraparound bodice. I had a lovely jacquard silky print. I felt very feminine, very Grecian, and I really love playing up on a theme for Frocktails because I think it's the only time I like to kind of challenge myself into sewing something as a whole theme or a look rather than just a dress I would wear every day. I like to have a bit of fun with it. Phoebe's already got her whole look put together, and I did actually have a bit of a theme put together with another fabric from Lady McElroy, but the fabric has yet to be produced. They did have some in stock. It went out and I put an order in literally months ago and they still haven't got it in, so I had to scrap that whole idea. It was going to be, oh, look, I won't tell you because I could actually go for that next year if that fabric ever decides to come back in, but it was a very 1940s sort of inspired, maybe glamorous Hawaiian theme. Yeah, it was a glamorous dress, but I was going to play out that whole 1940s Hawaiian aesthetic, but yeah, it didn't end up coming to fruition because the fabric didn't arrive. So I had to put my thinking cap on, and when I saw the beautiful collection released by Fabric Godmother, the Western prints, I knew that I had to recreate a look to go with these beautiful cream boots. So I picked these up online. There probably is still some left. I'll link these boots in the description box if you're interested, because I've never seen a light colour boot, and I know there are a lot of boots out there that are inspired by I think the Taylor Swift concert. People were buying golden Western style really elaborate boots. I didn't want that because I wanted something I could wear again. So I wanted to play up the theme a little bit, but not too over the top. And I really love the colour of these. So the fabric that I'm going to use is the beautiful Fabric Godmother, the Sundance jacquard, beautiful viscose with that kind of gold glint through it. There's images of horses, saddles. It's really, really pretty, and it's exactly what I'm looking for. The problem is I can't decide on the style to go with it. Now, the Rachel Koo outfit was more or less a shirt style dress with a tiered skirt. It was about a knee length dress, but I'm not sure if it was kind of a bit too casual for what I'm going for. And I know that fabric would have really dressed it up a lot, but I had a bit of a different image in my mind. My couple of concerns are that I don't want to get too hot on the night, and yeah, I know I will. If I have a glass of champagne, I'll be just like, okay, I'm way too hot. I should have thought of wearing something a little bit more breezy and loose. So I don't want a long sleeve. I want to go for something with either a mid or a shorter sleeve, but I don't want strappy or sleeveless. So I've kind of got a few things in mind. Another thing I have found is some earrings. Now, I bought these from La Vista. which is an Australian like costumey jewelry store. And I mainly bought them because I thought they matched the fabric so beautifully. They're little moon and crescent, or sun and crescent I should say, pearl drop earrings. They're really pretty. I think they'll match that fabric really beautifully. So I've got all the accessories, I've got the shoes, but I'm nowhere near ready to find how the dress will look or the pattern. So I've got a couple of things on the go. Now the first pattern I was thinking about was the Eleanor dress from Silver Saga Patterns. I've seen so many beautiful versions. It's got a lot of shearing details or elastic threading details. And I was nearly going to make that. I absolutely love that. I think it'll look beautiful with the accessories. But my main concern was that the print on the fabric would have been too gathered up and it wouldn't have showcased all that beautiful design work on there. I think that would be perfect for a plain fabric or maybe with a print that's not so involved. It's quite a delicate print, so I really want it to stand out. So that wasn't really what I wanted for the fabric, but the pattern itself is gorgeous, and I've bought it already, so I definitely want to make it. It may be in a beautiful gauze or a voile for summertime. I think it'd be a stunning dress, and I've seen a couple of really nice versions I'll put up here so you can see floating around on the internet, and have just really inspired me to make this dress. So it's definitely on the list. And the Silver Saga patterns are so dreamy and feminine and beautiful. There's so much detail, so much work in them. Sometimes it might be best to go for quite a muted down print, or maybe even a plain fabric, in my opinion, but just to show all those design details and the gathering and the ruching and that kind of thing. But I love the patterns, and I love the whole aesthetic there. It's definitely some things I want to sew up on that website, so I'll link those patterns below. The next pattern that I thought of making was the Pleiades dress from French Poetry Patterns. It's one that I've seen around for a long time, for many years, and I've had a lot of people purchase them from the store that love this pattern. There's a Pleiades 1, I think it was a Pleiades 2 that I was more interested in, but I wasn't quite sure again if I've made quite a few dresses like that. I've made the Maya Sodas by Dear and Doe. It's very similar. That was for my 50th. I love that pattern as well. It's very similar kind of bodice and skirt style. The other one was the pattern we made for the Stevie Nicks Belladonna box, which was the Duplantier dress from LB Textiles. That is a beautiful similar style with a high bodice and the V, the front that floats down. It's really nice. Very flattering, very feminine style floaty dress pattern. But again, I just wasn't 100% on whether it was going to showcase this fabric. So what I'm looking at currently is making a toile. Now I've got two patterns in mind. I'm going to make toiles up for both of them and then decide which one I want to go for. The first one is the Style Like Queenie dress. It is the most classic style evening Christmassy party dress, and they've really showcased it in so many different evening-y fabrics, some beautiful jacquards, some satins and silks, and even in viscose, linens. There's so much you can do with it. I love the fact that you've got lots of options for the skirt with either the frill around the bottom, which is what I would go for, and I would go for the mid-sleeve with the one little frill. I think there's one or two frills around the bottom. But you can go for the longer sleeve, you can go for the short sleeve, you can go for the double fluted frill sleeve. There's lots of options on that. So I'm making a toile at the moment, and I'm making it out of some viscose I've had in my stash for about 3 years now. I think it was a Spotlight. Don't think they have that in stock anymore, but they could. I really don't know. I haven't been to Spotlight for a long time, only because I have my own fabric store now. Why would I? But I had this fabric in my stash and thought I'll make a toile out of that to use it up, and I really like the print and the colour. So I'm making the Queenie in this fabric. I've made the bodice already. Just doing the short sleeve version and the regular skirt without the frill, just to get the fit right. I've done, from my measurements and looking at finished garment measurements, I've done a fair bit of grading. I've looked at maybe doing the 16 shoulder, 18 around the bust, and 20 around the waist back to the 16 hip. So I've done a fair bit of grading there, and the great thing with those multi-size patterns is you can do lots of grading to get your accurate measurements. Very hard to know by looking at it so far whether the fit would be right, and sometimes you go ahead and do that and you end up, going down a size or up a size. And it's really hard for me around the middle to get that fit right because I don't make a lot of fitted garments. It's an invisible zipper back. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one comes up. So that would be my trial run. Now, a couple of concerns I have is that I know I do prefer dresses with a lower, either a scoop or a V. I feel that suits me best. Here I am saying that with a round high neck. But for a dress like that, I am more heading towards a softer or more open neckline. So having the higher or the mid-style crew neck in that one is a little bit of a concern, whether it'll be too much. I think it'll look lovely with that frill around the bottom with these cowgirl style boots. Look, I could put it on and these might look really terrible with it. And at the moment I am all about comfort. I know that, it looks wonderful when you have a pair of heels on, and I tend to head more towards wedges than heels these days, or maybe even kitten heels. But look, last year I know you did a lot of standing and talking and looking, walking around, and my feet were killing me by the end of the night. I remember last year, and there was quite a lot of us ladies who were like, oh, we need to sit down, our feet are really hurting. So I really am going more for comfort, but I don't know. I just don't know till I see the whole outfit together whether these boots will even look what I'm envisioning them to look like. But you need to try things out sometimes to be a bit daring. And I really liked the boots that Rachel Koo had on with the dress, but yeah, we won't know till we get the toile up and see how it looks together. Then I had a brainwave the other night, and I just thought, I really love the Mason Fauve Cuba Libre. It's been one of our most popular patterns in our store all year. That and the Nell dress from Tilia Buttons have been very, very popular dresses in store. But the Cuba Libre has just something really unique and special about it. It's just a very simple dress, simple style lines. It's got the V that I love. It's got the fitted bodice. It's got the elastic waist and no zipper at the back, which is bonus for fitting. Love an elastic waist. I love the fluted style half sleeves. I think they always look beautiful, and they're great, depending on what the weather's like in November here in Melbourne. It could be 35 degrees or it could be 17 degrees. Anyone else that lives here in Melbourne knows what I'm talking about. You can go from really cool weather to really hot weather a day apart. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I don't want to be too hot. I don't want to have to bring a jacket, so I want to make sure that what I'm wearing can suit either type of weather. So that is another thing to think about. So the Cuba Libre, I think, could look beautiful in this fabric. Meg's getting very excited. There were some birds. And I think that looking from their pictures on that pattern, they've made a beautiful black and gold jacquard fabric Cuba Libre dress, and it looks stunning. The open back I don't think I would do because I would like to wear a bra. I can't go braless. It looks beautiful, the open back on lovely Emily, who has modelled the dress there. But for me, I would definitely go a closed up back. For the bra issue mainly. But I really think the Mason Fauve Cuba Libre would look beautiful with the boots as well. I do have some other shoes I could wear with it, but if they don't look right, I have found a couple of other pairs of shoes online, and I don't normally buy many shoes. I'm not a huge shoe nut. I haven't got a wardrobe full of shoes stacked up, but I do find if I have a special occasion, I love to go and buy a matching pair of shoes and go for the whole ensemble. So don't know. I think I will see how it all comes together and try it all on. So my main two patterns at the moment, well, actually no, there was a third one I haven't got to yet. It was the Trini by Starlark Patterns, and that's one I wanted to try for a long time, ever since it came out, mainly because of the options with that beautiful expansion pack. There's heaps and heaps of options there, but I probably would go for the simple V-neck cap sleeve option and the long line skirt. The only thing with the long line skirt is last year I had a really long line skirt, so I'm thinking maybe a midi might be more my style for the boots this year. I know that I think Hayley from Haymeadow made a Trini dress as well. So a lot of you have commented on the reviews on the Starlight website, said how much you love the Trini pattern too. So another invisible zip in the back, but that fitted sort of waist and floaty fit and flare style I know really suits me as well. The Trini is a wonderful dress for all the options. It's a great dress for weddings as well. From what I've heard, you've got the options of that nice lantern balloon style sleeve. Yeah, there's heaps of different sleeve options for that. So wanting to more or less challenge myself to make something a bit out of my comfort zone, because I do make a lot of shirt dresses. I make a lot of drapey style boho dresses. So I wanted to do something a bit different to really showcase that beautiful fabric from Fabric Godmother. So that's my plans at the moment. I'm going to be back next week to show you the toile, and I'm really leaving it late because the 9th of November is the Frocktails evening and we're heading towards the end of October. We've had a really, really busy couple of weeks in the shop. We've got so many beautiful orders we've been sending out. So a huge thank you if you've been and purchased fabric from the store. It really does. We pinch ourselves every day and think how lucky we are to have such amazing customers. Our boxes went out last week. There's already a couple of unboxings out, I've noticed, for the Regency Garden Party box. So that was wonderful to see. Last night, I think Katrina from Create Something Pretty and Deb from DB Designs have got theirs out, and I loved, really enjoyed watching those. We will have some of the fabric coming next week. If you missed out on that Regency box and you love the fabric, I'm not going to show it yet because a lot of people, international customers, will only have just received their boxes. So if you love the fabric in that, it will be coming in the next few days. I like to wait till the boxes are circulating. We don't normally have fabric left over from our boxes, but this month I decided to order just a smidge extra because I knew it'd be a popular one heading into spring and summer. What else have I got to talk about? I haven't spoken about what I'm wearing. I have got on the African wax or Ankara print fabric that we have in our store. And this is the Matea top from Sewciety Patterns. It's a really simple little boxy top. Doesn't take much fabric at all. And I love that boat neck cap sleeve. It's fabulous to wear with a little pair of shorts, denim skirt. Yeah, it's a really good little basic. I've worn heaps already, and it does soften up the more you wash it as well. These Ankara fabrics are a really nice 100% cotton, so love wearing this. What else did I have to talk about? We had a really busy weekend. I haven't spoken about our weekend. We had our daughter Charlotte, one of our twins, her boyfriend Drew had his 30th. Of course, Charlotte and Drew got back from the UK. They had Scotland, Ireland, most of the UK. They did quite a lot. They're there for a month. They had the most amazing time. They were staying all over the place. They stayed with relatives in Colchester. They moved their way up to Liverpool and loved that. Then they went to Scotland. They went to the Isle of Islay, stayed at this amazing resort distillery that they just, it looked incredible, and I was so jealous. It's definitely on my list of go-to places. They had an amazing sort of a private bus that they'd hired, a tour guide that drove them around Scotland, and just said he was incredible. So yeah, definitely is one thing I want to do. Then they flew over to Ireland and had a week in Ireland that they drove around. They went through Dublin, over to Galway, Killarney, did the Ring of Kerry, and then came back over to the UK and made their way back down again. They absolutely loved visiting Buckingham Palace and going to Windsor and Bath. Charlotte took lots of photos and said that they loved the where they filmed a lot of Bridgerton. It was just amazing. So she actually came back, and we were so excited to see her. And she was quite sad because she had that whole holiday coming back depression, and said, "I really want to go back, Mum." It was just incredible. So absolutely loved it. So they had ended up all going over there with Drew's parents, and Drew's parents had stayed on for a couple of more weeks. And when they came back, I said to Drew, you know, what are you doing for your 30th? And he's like, no, nothing, because we just had a trip away. And I thought, well, hey, why don't we do a pizza weekend here? You can invite a few of your friends over. And I sort of said to Joe, I nominated Joe, so we're cooking pizzas this weekend. He's like, yep, fine, no worries. And the list kind of grew to maybe 20, then 30, maybe 40 people. I think we ended up having closer to 50 people here, which was a huge day for us. And we ended up making close to 30 wood-fired pizzas, I think, went in and out. So we were very organised. We kind of have a bit of a system down pat now. So Joe makes all the dough in preparation. I end up, I do it with my hands, or the rolling pin. You can, roll it out, prepare the pizza. He puts them in the oven, cooks them. We bring them out, and Phoebe was cutting them. So we have a real system, but they were just getting demolished. It was wonderful to see everything getting eaten. And I don't know if anyone took any photos. I certainly didn't have time to take pics, but it was really wonderful. And Drew's mum and dad had got home a day or two before, so that's why I'd volunteered to do the 30th here, because I knew his mum and dad would be jet lagged and exhausted. They ended up coming home in time, and Drew's father turned 80 a couple of days after him. So we kind of had a joint celebration for the both of them, and had a wonderful Sunday. Very tiring. My feet were killing me by the end of the day. And then we were back at work Monday morning. Phoebe and I were busy doing orders and Sam to help us. And yeah, it hasn't stopped. So now that the month, all the busy times sort of heading out of October, I'm starting to really think about Frocktails and how I need to be fully prepared and have this address ready. I don't want to be sewing the night before Frocktails, so it's very exciting. So can't wait to be there that night and meeting a lot of the sewers in the community. And from what I've heard, the list has grown substantially now. Last year they had 200. I think they've got up to 400 people coming for Frocktails this year in Melbourne. So fabulous night it will be. Another few questions I've had about bespoke boxes for November. I have mentioned that we are having a beautiful theme this year with the very lovely Sarah from Miss Moresby Fabrics. She is a gorgeous artist. You'll know all about her. Everyone knows her work. She's a Melburnian as well. We're doing a theme called A Christmas with Miss Moresby. There'll be 3 different prints, so 3 separate boxes, and that will be a designer deluxe box. It'll be on the 10th of November, 7 p.m. Very thoughtfully curated box this one will be. We're going to have some Australian brands in there from La La Land. Yeah, I can't tell you much more because it'll spoil the surprise, but really beautiful boxes. We're making the gifts and edibles in each box different. So if you want to buy more than one box, you can do that if you get lucky enough to get one, because they do go fast. So I'm going to talk more about the theme, all the different themes in that very festive box next week. Now, advent calendars will be heading out at the end of the month and the start of the month of November. So that's all happening. We're getting the last thing ready for that now. We're getting some locally handmade goodies to top the box off. Can't wait till you see all the goodies in this box. And a reminder that there'll be a lot of special things happening in the store in the next couple of months. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, I would highly suggest doing that, because we are having a bit of a special VIP event this weekend that you will need a code for. So if you haven't signed up to our newsletter, you won't know what this special code is or what the offer will be. So make sure you head on over to our website. If you scroll down, you'll see, well, a pop-up could appear and it'll say subscribe me to emails, and that way you'll be first in on the exciting news of all these special events happening for October, November and December. So can't wait to share those with you very shortly. Have a wonderful week. I'll be back with some new fabrics and another new pattern company. A lovely French company called Charcoude has just arrived on our doorstep, so I can't wait to show you these beautiful patterns. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comments in the description box. What pattern you think I should go for? The Queenie, the Mason Fauve Cuba Libre, or the Stylark Trini? Let me know what your thoughts are with the fabric, what you think will go best. And you think I should go for the cowboy boots? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and let me know also if you've already sewn up your Frocktails gown. What have you sewn, and are you panicking like me and maybe leaving it to the last minute? I'd love to hear what you think. Have a wonderful week. Take care. We'll see you all shortly. Bye for now.